This is the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, where every week this brother-sister duo gets together to discuss the box office, latest film and TV scoops, along with our latest movie or show review, and what we're getting into next. We're your hosts, Cheryl.
And Jay.
I forgot to say my own name there for a second. All right, so this week we watched the movie Drop, and Jay is on deck to quiz me. What you got?
Okay, so the movie this week was Drop, directed by Christopher Landon. So not very much trivia, but so are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the movie Drop was inspired by what popular Wes Craven film?
Wes Craven is, I don't know.
A horror director. So everything about this is
right?
horror, which you don't participate
I know, I was
in,
going to say, Wes Craven is
Wes Craven is Scream, Freddy Krueger.
Okay. But it's not one of those two.
No.
Halloween is Wes Craven?
No.
That's also not the answer. Okay.
No.
So popular horror. I at least know the franchise is.
So
Drop though. What would Drop be?
I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
It stars Cillian Murphy.
He was in a horror franchise.
Yes, a horror thriller, psychological thriller that was directed by Wes Craven.
With Cillian Murphy.
Came out in 2005, so it's a Cillian Murphy throwback.
Okay. Was he a lead?
Yes.
Was he a villain?
Yes.
Oh, God. I actually was expecting you to say no.
No.
And, can I get another hint? And who else was in it?
Rachel McAdams. It only starred 2 people, just like Drop.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. I was I was like, what else would be like Drop? I don't. Was it like I don't know.
Has to do with travel.
Travel. 2 people. Was she on a plane?
Yes.
Oh, I'm not gonna get the name, but I think I know what it is. Was the premise? She was on a plane, and it couldn't have been a mobile situation because they didn't have airdrop back then like that. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Okay. So the movie was Red Eye. It starred Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw this, but I saw this. But basically, they're both on a plane. She's on the plane. This person in the seat next to her she thinks is a stranger, but it's somebody who's targeted her to assist in an assassination plot. And they're like using her as a catalyst for it, as a tool.
It's literally this
and it's pretty much
movie.
the same as Drop.
So Cillian Murphy was sitting next to her the whole time in the plane.
Yes, he was in the seat next to her.
But you didn't, obviously you don't know. Did you know watching it, or like did the audience know and she not know, or nobody knew?
No, it was pretty early on that he reveals himself to her as the villain. So the whole movie is is him using her.
Okay, she probably
trying to find a way out.
Trying to move. Okay.
Just like in Drop.
Okay, spoiler alert, what happened at the end?
I think he dies at the end. I think the third act ends up just like Drop, where like the tension is the whole flight, and then at the end of the movie they land, and then the third act takes place in like a completely different place.
Okay. I was gonna say, is it like in the air, like they fighting in the air, like Air Force One or something? But
no, she wasn't like a she was just a regular woman.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it was just like Red Eye.
Okay.
What attracted him to the movie was because he was going to do Scream.
Right.
And his plan was to pay homage to Wes Craven in his Scream film, but because of that debacle, everybody quit after Melissa was fired.
Right.
So,
rightfully so.
He went to do Drop, where he could also pay homage to Wes Craven.
Okay.
So on a different film. So.
And he's got a long career ahead of him, I would assume. So
yeah.
Interesting. Okay, I can see now. I kind of want to watch the Red Eye just out of curiosity because I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a short film, but it pretty much kind of plays just like Drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. So that is it for trivia this week. Let's get into the episode.
Welcome, fellow movie buffs. I'm Jay.
I'm Cheryl.
Listen in as we break down movie and TV shows, tell you what's in the plot, and hear if we think you should have watched it when you had the chance.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, so we had a gaggle of news yesterday, and we got just not as big of as a gaggle, but some news this week. We'll talk about some new movie announcements that came out. One, we have another video game adaptation to talk about. We have several cars in the trailer park, and then we got a small bites of Buncha Crunch. So let's start off at the top. A video game. Well, first of all, if you didn't know, Minecraft is doing gangbusters, which is about to get. I think this one was already in the works though. So, video game adaptation of Death Stranding officially has a director. Now, this is a very popular video game. Yes.
Yeah.
It's from the same guy. It's from
the director is popular. The game is popular, but not like super popular.
It's not. Oh, so it's not as popular as Metal Gear Solid?
No. No.
Let me finish these notes.
The director made both. He is extremely popular.
It's a he thing. Okay.
Yes, it's a him thing.
Okay. So the director of the video game of Death Stranding and from Metal Gear Solid is Hideo Kojima. I knew I was going to jack it up. Sorry. He's also he does like quick movie reviews on like Twitter, and everybody thinks it's gospel. And I'm like, y'all chill out. He's a normal movie person like the rest of us. Anywho, so Death Stranding's video game adaptation now has a director of Michael Skarnowski, who did Quiet Place Day 1, which was good. I liked it. Now the video game came out in 2019. I did not realize that the voice cast was like stacked like this, but it's got Norman Reedus, who is from Walking Dead. Yes.
Yeah.
Matt Mikkelsen.
They're all in the game. Like they did the motion capture.
Oh, so they look like them as well. I don't think I knew that either. So Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Lisa Doe, I think that's how you say her last name, Guillermo del Toro, and Margaret Qualley, who was in The Substance.
Yes.
I didn't know she was in this either. So I think this has been in the works for a hot minute though. I feel like that people maybe
we talked about this before a while ago.
Right. It's coming from A24 and Hideo Kojima's production company are doing this together. I think it's interesting that this is A24 because A24 really about to get out of that independent.
Well, the game, the like, synopsis of the game fits A24. You're basically a UPS man after the apocalypse,
right? With a baby invasion or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
there's like alien. There's like spirits or something that have
taken
over
is
the
like a
surface of the planet.
This seems bigger than what A24 would normally take on. But
it's scale, yeah. I mean, but it depends on how big they're trying to do it. Because most of the game is you're the only person on the surface of the planet. Everybody else kind of lives underground.
So these other people were like coming and going, like Mads.
Yeah, I mean they came in with the story. Mads was the villain, but I mean they weren't like present throughout the whole. Most of the game is just you on your own traveling across the barren landscape. Of course, avoiding death.
This ain't like a Final Fantasy situation.
No.
Or you got like a party of 10.
No, it's not like combat.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. This is interesting. Video game adaptations is about to be the new comic book movies if they are not already. They doing gangbusters. Well, Minecraft is doing gangbusters. They're doing everything else, so this fits. I'm just surprised that A24 was like, look, we got bills to pay too. Give us a blockbuster, please. Yeah. So we don't have anything about the when they're going to start production, when it's coming out, but having a director is a good start. So I'm curious who they're going to get to write it, or they just going to like lift. Is it one of these video games where you could easily lift the storyline, or is it going to be like a Mario situation? You got to make something new.
No, this storyline is incomprehensible.
Okay,
the storyline is ridiculous. So
what makes it so ridiculous?
It's hard to explain.
Oh, okay.
But it is extremely.
It's not straightforward.
No.
Oh. Okay.
No, it's not.
Interesting. We're not gonna spoil the game.
No.
Is there
all of Hideo Kojima's stuff? Metal Gear Solid
is not straightforward.
It's probably as straightforward as it gets with Hideo Kojima. All the Hideo Kojima stuff is like meshed in like horror and allegory. So,
okay. Is there only one of these? Is only one?
Well, right now the second one's in development, and it seems like it's going to be completely different from the first one. So
okay, interesting. Yeah. I'm curious to how this goes. Like gets developed, who they pick. What the rollout, what the reception is, because I
guess it should just still be all the same actors.
It could. It
wasn't that long ago when the game came out.
It could be one, and then two. I wonder if they consider comic book movies and video game adaptations like not serious movies, but I wonder if this is gonna be like the first one. Oh, this is like a serious movie.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not like what did we just see? Borderlands.
Yeah.
Death Stranding is not an action game.
Okay.
So, no.
Interesting. No. We'll see. It's still a video game.
It's like I mean, there's like some survival elements in it.
Okay,
like,
but you're not
you
fighting.
have to like survive against.
So what are we
like,
gonna be doing for 2 hours?
But most of the movie is you're basically like it's a post-apocalyptic FedEx simulator.
That's why.
Except you don't have a truck. You're just moving. You're just walking.
This is right up A24 alley. I don't know what I'm tripping about. Okay, so as we learn more about this video game adaptation, we will bring you the news. Yeah. Next up, Warner Brothers is in a remake sequel bag. And they announced, well, they didn't officially announce. There was an interview with two of the heads of Warner Brothers. And through the interview, they dropped some gems on what's coming out. So there's a Beetlejuice 3 in the works, which is not a surprise. I mean, they named the second one Beetlejuice. So I feel like Beetlejuice was like destined to happen. I will be honest, I don't think it needed, because the second one was just okay.
It made a lot of money. People loved it.
It did. It made $451 million worldwide off a $100 million budget, which is like 4 times the budget. So you can't. WB was kind of like, yes, we will cut the check however you like. So no word on if the OGs are coming back, if Tim Burton is directing it. We ain't got none of that. They just said the ink ain't quite wet. The ink isn't quite yet dry. Thank you, but it's coming. Another movie that they announced, this is going to be a prequel movie for Oceans, which sure is going to star Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. Apparently they had already mentioned this, but it's still going forward. This prequel for Oceans will actually be set in 1962's the Monaco Grand Prix. The film will follow the couple as they teach their kids how to be scammers, aka steal from the rich. I think it'll work.
Sure.
I think those two are goofy enough to be in. Wait a second. They just did Barbie. I just put that together.
Yeah.
Okay, we're fine. I was like, oh, what movie have they done before? Literally the $1 billion movie Barbie. I don't know if Oceans need a prequel, but why not? I mean, nostalgia bait, maybe.
They're doing another one, so.
They are doing another one.
So.
We'll see. I need a trailer, as Jay like to say. Another movie that they are still trying to bleed dry is The Matrix. There's a new Matrix movie in the works. We have no idea if this is connected to the other Matrix movies that have come out, but it's going to be coming from Drew Goddard, who did Cloverfield, I did not see, Cabin in the Woods, which I did not see, The Martian, which I also have not seen, and World War Z, which I have not seen. But Jay has seen at least 2.
All of these.
Oh, okay. Of course you have. Cabins in the Woods was a horror movie.
It's a horror comedy with Chris Hemsworth.
I remember. Although it sounds like the premise sounds really good. So I told myself I was going to watch it one day.
Yeah, it's all there's an organization that sets up a cabin with different choose your own fate things. And Chris Hemsworth and his friends take a cabin.
It's a cult classic, right? At this point? Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't watch Cloverfield, but I know there's a couple other ones. The Martian is with Matt Damon, and then World War Z is with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
With zombies. Yes.
Yeah, it was like rabies.
Zombie.
I mean, yeah, and they didn't eat you. It was a passing of a virus. So once they bit you, they moved on. I mean, you turned into one of them, but they kind of like I Am Legend. I Am Legend monster didn't eat you. They kind of just bit you and then moved on.
Because they used to be humans. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. I think we need to cool on the Matrix for maybe a decade.
I'm okay with them making another Matrix.
Really?
As long as it's like the first 3 and it completely
and we act like the fourth one didn't
exist.
That
first one was garbage.
That fourth one was pretty.
It was bad. Not pretty. Terrible. It was bad.
I wanted my time back. You know, some movies are bad and you're like, it's fine. I just wasted an hour and a half. But I was like, y'all owe me an hour and a half.
Good actors can be in bad things.
Did you hear that Lawrence Fishburne said that he actually wanted to do the fourth one and they didn't?
He dodged a bullet. Yeah. He was upset that they didn't ask him back. But I mean, that was God protecting him.
Yeah. Divine interventions. Unfortunately, Yaya got thrown in there. But yeah, he didn't need it. He didn't need it. So we'll see. I don't know. You're right. If it's like the first 1 or 2, then fine. That third one kind of pissed me off a little bit. But anywho, another remake that's coming that we don't really need is The Bodyguard.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what The Bodyguard is, I don't know how you got to this podcast. But The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston and
Kevin Costner.
Thank you. Sure. Will that work this day and age? Would The Bodyguard be relevant today? I don't know.
I mean, it's a...
They're going to have to put a twist, some sort of modern twist on it. I don't think it's going to work.
I mean, what was the original plot to The Bodyguard again?
He was her...
Yeah, I mean, he was her bodyguard.
And they fell in love.
Yeah.
And he, protected her because that's his job.
I mean, yeah.
So it's a love story.
Today.
Fine. It's
People still have bodyguards.
We don't have a lot of rom-com. It wasn't a comedy. It was just
comedy.
You're right. It was not a comedy. It was just a romance drama.
Yeah.
So I guess, sure. Somebody said if they not going to get Kerry Washington and Tony Goldwyn, they shouldn't make it. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of the perfect.
Are they going to get another singer? Is that the goal?
You don't need a singer. Not nowadays. You don't need an actual singer. You get somebody else to do singing. But Kerry Washington, the original Scandal couple, perfect.
I mean, but bodyguard from what? She has to have a profession. That would make sense for her to have a bodyguard.
Well, I'm saying the actress don't need to be a singer. She can play a singer. Okay. And they can get somebody else to do singing.
So no soundtrack for this movie.
You could, yeah.
Right.
It just
the soundtrack was the best.
It just won't be the actress that's, okay. Who would you even get, though?
Exactly.
She better be black. Don't pick. Who?
No, I'm just saying, like, the point of the remake of this is for all of the elements. They're not just picking. They're not treating this like a salad bar. They're remaking this from beginning,
scratch,
from
original recipe.
Yeah,
I don't even know who they could get. Now the Kevin Costner role don't matter. We can get anybody, but who you getting is the actors.
Good singer actresses. Go.
Yep.
Good singer actresses of 2025. I mean, I'm sure we're missing somebody.
Who?
Janelle Monáe.
Okay.
She was good in
She
Glass
was
Onion.
good. I'm having a little struggle pitching her in like a romance because she's done like horror, mystery. So maybe. Who? No, I literally can't think of anybody.
I can't think of any good like modern singer actresses. I mean, not people who sing and act, because anybody can do that. I can sing and act, but like people who are talented in the realm of singing and acting simultaneously.
Very well.
Yes.
And I know y'all might be thinking, what about? No, we love her.
Not present, hollering and reading lines.
Right. No, I don't know. So good luck to the casting.
Yeah.
Because if it's not good, today, nobody's going to go. If it's not a good,
that I would want to see in the Bodyguard. Not just I can't think of anybody good that I want to see in a film. That I can't think of one.
I'm really struggling. If you guys have an idea who would be a good Whitney Houston replacement, let us know, because you also got to fulfill the shoes of Whitney freaking Houston. Good luck to her.
Yeah,
congratulations.
She was a good actress.
That's why I'm saying you either need to get. They're gonna have to pick somebody who can't sing and have somebody else do the voice.
Yeah, they'll probably have to pick somebody.
It's not gonna work. You can't replace Whitney Houston. Sorry. R.I.P. Sometimes I miss her. Anywho, that is it for our news. Now we're gonna get to
the trailer park.
IBB.
Okay, so the first trailer we have this week is for Predator, Killer of Killers. This is an animated anthology series. It's going to Hulu. It's going to premiere on June 6th. It is going to follow the Predators through different points in history, killing people through different points in history. Because that's what That's what we've always known about Predators, that they continue to revisit the Earth throughout time.
Yes.
Re-challenging people and then going back and bettering themselves and then coming back and
you're right.
repeating.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
We talked about this. It looks good. I like the animation style.
Yeah.
That's
like how everything's animated now.
You're right.
Arcane,
it's got
Blue Eye Samurai. It's got that watercolor animation style.
Terminator Zero. No, Terminator Zero was more traditional anime style, I think.
Batman Ninja. It's got all that.
Yeah, it's got that arcane look.
Some of the animation from that Star Wars series, some of those episodes.
I actually think I'll check this out. I like the trailer. I like we're hopping time periods, and I was like, the Predator's like killing like everybody. So I'm wondering how the humans are gonna survive because they don't look like they're in a good spot.
Yeah,
at all. Period. But
fun. I
wonder if this was a secret project. Remember they said that they had filmed. The Prey crew had filmed something else in secret. They hadn't said what it was. I wonder if this is it.
No, that's disappointing.
You wanted a movie?
Yeah, I wanted something.
Well, we getting a movie.
I wanted 2 movies then.
Okay.
2 live action.
This is not confirmed. I don't have sources did not confirm that. It's just something I guessed. I have no idea. But this kind of just came out of the blue. It feels like
this looks like. It looks good. It looks entertaining. It looks fun.
Yeah.
I probably won't watch it.
I'm going to watch it for both.
Okay.
I think I just like the animation. And I think and it's only 3 parts. So I'm sure. I'll watch it.
I like Predator stuff. I guess I'm more in the Aliens camp. I like Predator stuff. I mean, you don't have to choose.
But you really like like Prey.
I did like Prey, but I don't need more Predator stuff. Like prequel stuff.
Oh, okay.
More prequel
You're
stuff.
right. This is definitely going in the past.
Yeah, like we know what happened.
Because we are where we are.
Right.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. But I'm gonna watch it for both of us and bring it back.
Yeah.
See what it is.
Next stop on the trailer park is Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. This is the official trailer. This movie is coming out May 23rd, 2025. It is. I mean, it's hard to explain a Mission Impossible trailer. It's just a bunch
lot of action,
0.5-second clips sewn together with the music backing.
It's about 2 minutes and 17 seconds of just like
17 shots of Tom Cruise running.
We get a couple of Angela Bassett,
diving,
swimming,
some quick shots of all the other cast members in there
talking. I forgot Ron Swanson was in this, and Milchek are also in this. So hopefully it's for more than 5 minutes because it's 1,200 people in this movie. So I don't know what the plot is.
It's just a sequel to the last movie.
Are we sure? Are we calling it a sequel?
It's the same mission.
I forgot what the last mission. It was the keys, right?
They aren't showing the villain from the first movie. He's not in the trailer at all, but he's listed on the cast list.
They did show him in one of the half-second clips.
I didn't
you blinked, and that's what happened. You blinked and you missed him.
So the only thing we know is that it's the sequel.
Okay, I think this trailer looks better than the last one. I'm a little more excited for this one.
All the trailers look good.
Yeah, I
didn't know the last movie was gonna suck until I watched it. The trailers for the last one looked good.
Jay not letting it go. I'm on his side.
Last movie sucked.
They killed a very prominent character. Spoiler alert.
They killed Elsa.
I knew you was about to say
sucked.
it.
I'm not afraid of saying that. I'm standing on that
island. It's not my favorite.
Alone with friends.
It is. I think you are in the minority for sure. I won't say it sucked, but it was not nearly as good as Fallout, the one before it.
Well, nobody will be able to prove that it did suck because nobody went to go see the first one. So.
Somebody saw it. It made decent money.
It'll catch the rewatch circuit.
It will. I think people are actually rewatching it. I've seen a couple people
they didn't
say
see it the first time.
All right.
What was out the first time it came out?
It came right after. It came right before Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
that's what killed it. Yeah. Oh, excuse me, Barbenheimer. Thank you.
Nuked it. So
double, and they better hope Lilo and Stitch don't do the same thing.
Yeah.
We gonna see, y'all. We gonna see. But this trailer, it looks good. I'm a little more excited about seeing it. I wonder if this is actually the last one. I doubt it.
They said it's not.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, they said it's not gonna be the last
Is it gonna be him? Is he gonna give it that?
No, probably not.
Jesus. No. Anywho.
The last stop on the trailer park is the Phoenician Scheme. This comes out May 30th, 2025. This is a new Wes Anderson movie. So you know what that means. We're going to have a very large ensemble cast of some of the same people you've seen in the last Wes Anderson movie.
Yes, you're correct. Yeah. It's almost copy-paste.
Yeah.
I wonder if Jeff Goldblum going to show up.
Usually he just changes the main character.
Okay. Swaps it out for whoever else was.
Yeah, but usually the supporting cast is all the same because I even think Jeffrey Wright is in this too.
He is.
He? Yeah.
Yes,
so,
you are correct. This looks weird.
All his movies look like that,
and it's got a Wes Anderson filter on it. It's like sepia or something on it. And the plot of the movie is Benicio del Toro plays a billionaire who is going to leave his assets when he dies to his daughter. But he has like a whole gaggle of sons. But so for some reason, he's only giving it to his daughter. And it's their journey to maybe better their relationship or something.
And she's a nun.
And she's a nun. And the rest of the sons are just regular.
And I don't think she's even allowed to inherit anything. So,
is she not?
Yeah. Nuns aren't supposed to have anything but God.
Are you sure? I'm not Googling that. I believe you. I don't know.
I don't think nuns are allowed to do anything.
If you're a nun, let us know.
But like maybe run a business. I don't think nuns are like. I don't know.
Can nuns have assets? No.
Exactly.
You're right. Okay, so
nuns were also expected to renounce their inheritance and property rights when they become a nun.
Their vow to poverty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes it an interesting twist on the movie that he knows his daughter's a nun and he's trying to leave his estate to her.
And against his son's wishes.
I'm assuming the sons are not happy about it.
Because, I mean, that money's just going to go somewhere else.
She's going to give it to charity.
She has to, unless she plans on leaving the church.
And that's why he probably picked. She in the movie, though, doing some things, like fighting, smoking. So, I don't know.
Nuns smoke.
They was lighting up in Conclave.
Yeah,
okay, I was
I've seen movies with nuns in them.
Slow
Nuns break the rules.
Yeah. So the cast list got me into it, and then I saw the trailer and was like, this might be a stay-at-home movie. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I might go see Lilo and Stitch.
Have you seen any other Wes Anderson movie?
No.
Okay.
I was gonna watch the one with Jeff Goldblum, then he ruined it. I was like, well,
I mean, you still can watch it.
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't know. I need another trailer.
So that is all the stops in the trailer park. Let's dive into this Buncha Crunch.
All right, we got some casting news for the Mummy movie, the actual horrific Mummy movie that Cheryl's not gonna be able to watch.
Mm-hmm.
May Calamawy, who was from Moon Knight series. She was also in Gladiator 2 and they cut all her scenes.
Yeah.
She's been cast in this movie. We don't know her role, but I like that she getting on to something else. I liked her in Moon Knight.
I'm glad she's in this. She's actually Egyptian, so that makes sense.
Helps.
I liked her in Moon Knight.
Yes.
The director, Zach Krieger, is also writing and directing it.
Okay. It's funny. We had a whole conversation about people who are writers and directors, and we was coming up blank.
He's getting paid $20 million just to write and direct it. So I'm interested to see what the budget for this is, because usually the budget for horror movies are smaller. So
this has already exceeded a normal horror budget. The Mummy remake. I'm just curious what studio this is. New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
Okay. Warner Brothers. They got it.
I mean, yeah, they got it, but I just find it interesting.
Should they? Right.
Yeah.
Well, Sinners cost $90 million, and that's a horror movie.
Yeah. So,
but I don't care about Ryan Coogler getting that much.
Yeah.
That works. So we'll see. I'm still on the fence. I need a trailer to make sure I'm not going to be spooked.
It's gonna be scary. It's from the director of. Oh well, no, I'm misspoke. He's getting paid $20 million to write the Resident Evil movie.
Oh, I think that's also Warner Brother.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he probably was like, well, if y'all got 20 here, just give me 20 over here.
Yeah.
I mean, Resident Evil. That's another video game adaptation. They give them bigger budgets. Okay.
Next up, Robert Pattinson is in talks to join the Dune 3 film. He will be playing the villain Scytale. So I don't know much about Dune or the villain.
Listen,
but I don't want to look it up because every time you look up something Dune, it tells you the ending of whatever.
You're right.
That chapter
because
is.
I looked it up and I was like, ow.
Yeah.
Are we going to copy it? First of all, I tried.
I mean, the real villain is Paul Atreides. So
true, that is consistent. What I found
anybody else is just like a detour.
That did not change what I found. I was like, yeah, that's still consistent. He's a thing that does not a thing. He's a person that has like shape shifting something. Okay. I don't know. He like tricks Paul to do something.
There's a scroll.
You know what? I think he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wonder when Batman 2 gonna start filming.
When they start writing it?
Robert is like, I ain't sitting around. Book me in something.
Yeah.
Please. So, yeah, I guess. I mean, he's probably gonna have a weird voice that I'm gonna be like, what?
Yeah.
What, Robert?
Good for him.
Can't hear it. Yeah, good for, he just had a baby. He need to be working.
Last Buncha Crunch is the Academy officially announces a new category for the Oscars starting in 2027 called Best Stunt Design.
Shout out to the Fall Guy. That's the only reason why. I bet you Tom Cruise is mad because by the time this award come out, all the Mission Impossible movies gonna be done.
I mean, the thing with Tom Cruise movies is that
he ain't gonna be able to get it.
The Fall Guy was about spreading awareness for stunt actors. Tom Cruise is a narcissist who wants to do his own stunts and doesn't like when other stunt people are on set. So
are you going to get us in trouble?
So that's the thing. Mission Impossible. I saw the discussion. We're like, well, what about Tom Cruise? Like,
you did.
Mission Impossible didn't further the discussion for stunt work.
Like
discussion for Tom Cruise.
I said shout out to Fall Guy because that is when this conversation seemed to like. I think he kind of like.
Tom Cruise is known for like butting heads with directors and stunt people who try to do the work for him.
So he don't chop his head off by accident or something.
He won't let you call him a stunt
this is all the Fall Guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's other people behind the scenes, but
the Fall Guy campaigned heavily for
getting
eyes on stunt people.
Yeah, and I think the very next Oscars after that movie came out, they had like a little special presentation for like stunt people. I'm like, that's all the Fall Guy. So shout out to the Fall Guy for making this a category. It is deserved. It's deserved. I think a lot of good Winter Soldier should have won something. Yeah, it's overdue. So we'll see who wins and who cries about it. Yeah. Because, it's an award, so everybody going to be mad about something.
I wonder to see what kind of movies, maybe more blockbusters will make it into categories? Because stunts, usually the type of films that get nominated for Oscars now don't have stunts.
Right. They're like, your indies, your mid-range. Yeah. They not your big blockbusters. You're probably right. It will, it'll definitely probably be all blockbusters.
Yeah.
Or they're going to find some way to shaft them. Like, no, it's too stunny. You use too many stunts.
I mean, it has to be like a blockbuster.
It has to be because
at least one blockbuster film has to win.
Yes, I will be nominated.
Yeah. You can't give it to like Oppenheimer.
No. Unless
because there's no stunt.
Unless it's the bomb and you can't.
They would be able to snub like an actual blockbuster film.
We'll see. So. Hey, it's all politics, so we'll see. But well deserved, like you said.
Yeah. All right, so that is all the movie news, Trailer Park, and Buncha Crunch this week. We're going to take a short break and get into our movie review for a drop.
This week we watched Drop, which came out April 11th, 2025. It was directed by Christopher Landon, who also directed Freaky, Happy Death Day, and Paranormal Activity, The Marked Ones. He was also the writer for Hard Eyes. So we'll talk about that and how that relates later. Cast and characters of this movie include, I don't know any of these people, and so I won't be able to say like what they've been in. So I think they're all rather unknownish, kind of maybe. So you let us know if you've heard them before. Megan Fawney.
She was in season 2 of White Lotus. She was Aubrey Plaza's best friend. Well, not best friend. She was the wife to Aubrey Plaza's husband's best friend.
Immediately just debunked what I just said. Okay.
That's the only thing I know her from.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was like,
I just found that out today because her wig was different. So.
Okay. Yeah. Did I say her last name right? Megan?
I guess so.
Okay, sure. Megan, she plays Violet. She's the main character, obviously. She's a widowed single mother. Brandon Skerneller? He plays Henry, who is Violet's date. He's also not. He looked like, you said he looked like Glenn Powell with dark hair.
Yeah.
And I said he looked like Green Lantern, who's Grey's Anatomy, whose name I can't remember. He looks like that guy. Okay. Violet Bean, who plays Jen, who is Violet's younger sister, who also watches her son during the movie. Jacob Robinson, who plays the son, Toby. And then I'm going to stop there, because I feel like anything else might be spoilery. So that's is our cast. This movie has a runtime of 1 hour and 35 minutes, so short and sweet and to the point. Budget of $11 million, so it's a horror. It's not even a horror. It comes from Blumhouse, but it's not a horror. But it's cheap. It's cheap for a movie.
Yeah.
Opening day, it made $3.3 million, and then is estimated to do $7 million opening weekend. So maybe it's doing okay. I don't know.
I mean, Minecraft is out, so.
This was literally on one screen. Like, there was no multiple times. It was playing 5 times the whole day. That's not good.
Yeah.
Not Minecraft. Warfare and Amateur, same situation. Like 5 times during the whole day. Yeah. I know them studios was not happy about that, because the less time it plays, the less money your movie can make. So, anywho, cinema score of a B, which is fine. Not too bad. The same as Megan. When you put it in context, I was kind of like, I don't know if it's that good. It was the same rating that Megan got for cinema score.
Okay.
It was under Scream 5 and 6, which got B pluses, which I think feels low, but anywho. But it was also above Nosferatu, Hard Eyes, and Death of a Unicorn, which all got B minuses. I didn't realize Nosferatu got a B minus.
Yeah, people thought Nosferatu was too slow.
Okay. Hard Eyes might have been too goofy and not scary. And I see why Death of a Unicorn got to be minus. You can check our last episode to get that review. All right. And then for Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it a 50. That's a lie. I didn't change these numbers. Hold on one second. Dun, 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 dun. Rotten Tomatoes. God. Critics actually gave it an 82 and the audience gave it a 79. I don't agree with that critic score, but that's fine.
You think it's too high?
82? I feel like that means 8 out of 10 critics like this movie. I think that's interesting to me, but maybe that's me. I don't know. Anywho, the audience score seems right. 79. I agree with that. All right. Do you want to hit us with the plot?
Sure. Megan Faye plays Violet, who's a widowed single mother.
Yes.
Who's going on a first date again for the first time since the time of her widowing, the beginning of her widowing.
Yep.
And somebody at the venue is airdropping her cryptic messages telling her that she needs to kill her date or they're going to have the hitman at her house kill her son and sister.
Yes. That is pretty good synopsis, what you get at from the trailer. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about our non-spoiler thoughts first before we spoil this whole gosh darn movie. Do you want to go first?
Sure. I thought the movie was fine. It was entertaining. It didn't do anything bad. It didn't do anything extraordinary either. I think the 82% critic score makes sense because it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't extraordinary. I didn't feel like I wasted my time. But because it didn't do anything extraordinary, I also don't have very many things to critique.
Fair. That's pretty fair.
Because this movie barely did anything, I don't have very much to critique. And I don't know whether that's very slick of Christopher Landon or if that's very smart.
He just got a very movie. This has I was just looking at other movies. This has a higher critic score than Mickey 17. Isn't that kind of interesting?
I don't think there's anything to be divided in this movie about.
Okay.
I don't think there's range to have separate opinions about multiple things in this movie.
You're just kind of like, sure, I watched it. It's a movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a ham sandwich. It's like there's ham, there's cheese, there's bread.
Mustard.
A
little squirt of mustard.
Yeah. But it's a ham sandwich.
It fulfills your hunger.
It's filling. It's there. It's quick.
Okay. Easy to put
together.
Okay.
And non-offensive, unless you don't like ham.
Right.
So
just put some turkey breast.
So I think the movie was fine.
Okay.
The cinema score, the critic score make sense
to you.
I don't have enough to fight against those things.
It's not worth the squabble.
No, but it was fine.
Okay.
I do think the movie. It's not like a must see. I think it's.
No, I don't think so either.
I think it's closer to the bottom of the Christopher Landon films,
but
not a bad movie. I think all of his other films, Freaky, this movie was very straightforward. It was about two regular people on a date. And there's a very human killer. Or a very human villain. The Freaky movies was about Freaky Friday had a supernatural element. Happy Death Day.
Oh, he also did Paranormal Activity, which is also...
Paranormal Activity had a supernatural element. Happy Death Day was Groundhog Day. Was Scream, but Groundhog Day.
Right.
Those all had interesting, more exciting elements to them.
Little pizzazz.
This movie did not have oomph.
No pizzazz.
Yeah, it's very much like
we're here.
What do they say on Blackish? Warm, dry meat.
Yeah.
No salt, no pepper.
Just meat.
Just meat.
Cooked meat. Yeah.
So that's what this movie felt like. Cooked meat. Filling, not nasty.
But you ate it.
But yeah, I wouldn't order it again. But I'm not upset about it.
Not even with sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Me and a friend, shout out to Dominique, who's a faithful podcast listener, went to eat on Wednesday at a restaurant. The restaurant was in a hotel, and I didn't know that until I rolled up. So we ordered a fish sandwich. We both ordered the same thing. And it was just like...
You know what? That's a good metaphor. It's like hotel food. Hotel restaurant food.
It was just...
You order it because you're there and you don't feel like going out. And it's not bad, but it's convenient and quick.
Yeah.
And you're not thinking of you're not expecting maestros from the hotel lobby restaurant.
Yeah. It was funny because unfortunately for us, we thought it was a regular restaurant. And they had they was on open table and everything. I was like, okay. And I wrote, I was like, maybe it's attached in the front. Because we went to a hotel restaurant in New Orleans and that food was good. But it was kind of, you wouldn't know unless you went in a particular way.
Yeah.
No, it was in the lobby.
Some restaurants are housed in hotel buildings.
That's what I thought.
And then there are hotel restaurants.
That's what we went to.
This was a hotel restaurant movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
And just like you described a ham sandwich, our fish sandwich was just fish, bread, slither of tartar sauce, and was
not a lot to be divided about.
No, and we won't go back.
Yeah.
And recommend it.
But it was not nasty.
But we ate.
Yes.
And I was full.
You were full afterwards.
Yep.
That's my non-spoiler review of Drop.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with you. I had mildly entertaining.
Okay.
The acting was fine. The acting was cool. Yeah. Nobody was horrible. I will say that I didn't guess the antagonist right off the bat.
Okay.
So the movie at least kept me engaged enough to know who's the who behind the scenes. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But like you said, this movie is about a first date. Unfortunately, it's the worst first date you could ever have.
Yeah.
And we got to sit through it the whole time. And it's ooh, this date is awful. Where is the killing at? And then, like you said, I would have liked more seasoning on our meats. I would have liked maybe some a tomato on my sandwich. I would have liked maybe some aioli on my fish sandwich. You know, the seasoned fries would have been nice, and a nice lemonade. They had Minute Maid lemonade at the restaurant we took. I was like, no thank you, ma'am. No thanks. So even the lemonade wasn't like good. Yeah. So I had water. So it was like having a fish sandwich or a ham sandwich with some water. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. That was the crux of this movie.
All right.
Any other non-spoiler thoughts?
No. So that is our non-spoiler review of Drop. We are going to get into our spoiler section in 3 and 2 and 1.
Okay, so let's start off with our first character, Violet. And she is our widowed single mother. I will say off the bat, I don't know if that was important. The fact that she was widowed. Do you think her, because she was in an abusive relationship with her ex-husband, and she unalived him? Did we ever get the conclusion to that?
He killed himself.
Boom, you're right. I forgot.
Yeah.
He kills himself.
But people think that she killed him, which I don't know how that.
I don't know how that came to be either.
Because this is just like my base level Law and Order knowledge.
Go ahead.
The gunshot wound infliction was clearly self-inflicted. And it was from bottom of the chin.
Yeah, and his hands was on the gun. Well, it was weird.
I mean, her hands were on the gun, but you can tell that first thing they do when they examine a gunshot wound is they break down the trajectory of where the bullet came from.
And it was
it was very clearly like that was a level self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yeah. It's either from the bottom of the chin or from the side.
Yeah. So and our antagonist, who I'm not gonna say who it is yet, tried to shape it to where like, oh, you're trying to kill this guy. If you kill your date, like they're gonna think you're like you're committing suicide, serial killer. And it's
believed she killed her abusive husband. He was abusive.
Okay.
It's believed that she killed her abusive husband and got off.
And it's supposed to play like a big role in a movie, but I actually didn't.
That's part of the reason why the person is using her for this task.
Right.
Because she's already been attached to a murder.
A murder.
So it makes more sense that she would do it again to to the next man that she's dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But anywho, she did fine. The acting was fine. Like I said, it was a horrible first date because obviously the guy is like dropping her stuff, and she actually tells the date, Henry, like, I'm getting these weird messages. But at some point when a guy reveals to her, like, I want you to kill him, she has to like back down on like, oh, I'm just checking on my son because my sister's watching him. So she tries to play it off, but it's like she's not very good at playing it off. She like sweating, she crying, she changing her mind on stuff. And it's just like, dude, can you just leave? Just leave her here. She obviously don't want to be here right now. But the acting was fine. She was fine as a person who is clearly like under stress. There is a couple scenes where she tries to get out of it, which I thought were pretty cool. It makes her kind of smart. And there were some other scenes was like, girl, you could have did something else.
Yeah.
Like you could have tried a little harder. Your son's about to die.
Right.
But overall she was fine. It was I don't really have, like you said, there's nothing really notable there.
I mean, you haven't seen Red Eye, so if you've seen Red Eye, it's pretty much the same. It's watching Rachel McAdams try to struggle her way out of a situation she's not going to get out of before the credits roll.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was kind of that. It was kind of like just the constant roller coaster of tension.
The tension was okay.
Broken by
comedy.
Long dialogue. I wouldn't say it was a lot of comedy.
Right. I was going to say by a waiter. We had a character who was a waiter, their waiter, who was supposed to be like the comedic relief of the movie. He was okay.
It's a comedy. It's as funny as like a Scream movie, but not as funny as like. Well, the jokes aren't as funny.
Okay.
It has as much comedy as a Scream movie.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
But it's not as funny as like Hard Eyes.
No. I enjoyed Hard Eyes more than this, I would say, actually. Yes. Maybe because I knew this movie tries to be more serious because it's got like the domestic violence in there. It tries to have a serious angle at least.
I don't even think that's it. I think because more happens in Hard Eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
We're in more than one place, and we're with an active killer who's doing things. Yeah.
You're right.
And in this movie,
the Hard Eyes had brioche as the bun on the fish sandwich.
Yeah.
Versus like Wonder Bread.
Yeah. So I thought she was fine.
Yeah, she was fine.
She didn't do any. Nobody had. This movie did not give anybody space to do anything extraordinary.
No. Everybody's.
It's very much two people sitting at a table
talking, having an awkward first date,
and then getting up periodically to investigate random things that are happening in the restaurant, but then always coming back to the table and going right back to where they were in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, so. I mean, she could have gave a little more when she was trying to. There's scenes where she's talking out loud to the villain.
Yeah.
And, you know, she can't see him. He can obviously hear her and talk to her. Or he can hear her and he's talking to her through the phone. But it was just kind of like, you could, girl, your son's about to scream like the rent is due.
That's because she's talking to herself. And that's the thing. Two Scream things. Unfortunately, we're back in the Scream territory.
Hit it.
So, one, having the Ghostface killer on the phone gives the character more range to actually do some acting because they're having a conversation with somebody. There's a back and forth.
Yeah.
We're kind of just watching her talk to herself in a room while texts are on the screen. The Ghostface, Ghostface is snarky. Like he says little things. And the text messages were kind of snarky, but it was a text message. So it's not as effective as like Ghostface taunting you in your ear.
With a tone of voice or whatever.
Yeah, with like a tone of voice.
You're right.
That as far as the relevance of the her being a widow,
I don't think it played that much of a role.
It only played because they wrote it into the movie. She didn't need to be a widow.
Yeah.
Because it didn't. I feel like it doesn't come back into effect until the end of the movie, and I think the payoff was too cheesy.
It was just like, oh.
Yeah. The payoff, the only reason the domestic abuse plot and her being a widow plot only made sense for the very opening scene.
Yeah.
And the second to very last scene.
Because we get a flashback to the night of where her ex-husband killed himself.
Yeah.
But they break the scene up over the course of the movie.
And I don't have a problem with it being in there, but I just don't think they did a lot with it. I mean, it has moments where it's at the type where they have a conversation at the dinner table, but I mean, it's just exposition.
She's playing a long game.
Yeah, I mean, she's dropping lines about what her relationship was like.
Right.
We don't see anything. We only get one scene of what their relationship was like, and that's a scene of him almost killing her and her son, and then deciding to kill himself.
Yeah, it's the same scene drawn out over the movie.
Yeah.
But one flashback.
Other than her just like reading the lines off about what that relationship was, we don't get any of that.
No, and I thought the killer actually says to her through a text, like, you can kill your date. You've killed somebody before. And I was like, oh, but then when it's revealed that she killed her abusive ex-husband, I was like, well, he deserved it.
And she didn't.
What do you mean?
And she didn't.
Oh, and she didn't.
Yeah.
So I was kind of... Actually, now that line is stupid.
Well, because it's believed that she did. I mean, it's believed that she got off, I think. That's why he says that he said the headline will read a double black widow homicide.
She wasn't even married to that man. But anyway,
yeah, right. But
it would make no sense for her to kill her date that like her first date. Like, what sense would that make? She would be doing it for fun. Like, that would make
no sense for her to. Well, it wouldn't make no sense for her to do it. But I mean, all the pieces were there. She was poisoning them with the same amount of drugs that she prescribes to her patients.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah. It made no sense, but I mean, all the pieces were there. So
okay.
Also, another Scream parallel. They also did the thing where she is a therapist who helps women who are also victims of domestic abuse, which is what Laura did in Scream 3.
Oh, okay.
Laura, which was Sydney's alter ego when she moved out into the woods. And
yeah,
she
you're right.
Working the telephone hotline.
She
for abuse
did.
victims.
She did. So, I forgot about that.
And Christopher Landon was gonna do a Scream movie.
You can kind of.
It's funny. Whenever this happens, I think of that scene from Endgame with Thanos is like, every time you try to do something else, you end up coming right back to me. And I feel like Scream is like the Thanos.
Yeah, it's just sitting there like.
It's just sitting there like you did all these twists and turns and went back in time, went forward in time, and you come
still back to me. I'm still here.
But he's a fan of Scream, and
that makes sense.
His Scream movie was going to be called The Full Circle. It was the code word for the film was Full Circle.
Okay,
yeah,
before they started.
It's funny.
Yeah. It does suck that he's not going to get his Scream. Maybe no, probably not. I was like, maybe Scream 9.
Maybe.
Yeah. We'll see. But yeah, overall, she was fine. The character was fine. She did what she had to do, and then towards the end of the movie, she kind of like, gets her.
She didn't go full City Prescott, but she
didn't, because she actually did the thing that the killer told her to do, and then she was like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't kill somebody.
Yeah, she was more like a what's her name? Allison from Trap. She was more like her. She was more like Jake Gyllenhaal's wife in Trap, where she played the smart game.
Okay. Oh, you mean Josh Hartnett?
Josh Hartnett. What did I say?
Jake Gyllenhaal. I was like,
Josh Hartnett. Yeah, Josh Hartnett's wife from Trap.
But she ain't act as good.
No, she was better. The wife in Trap was better.
If you watch Trap for anything,
the wife in Trap was smarter.
Watch it for the wife.
The wife in Trap was actually the villain and the protagonist because she orchestrated it and took him down.
Whole movie. And when she revealed it, you was like, I be dang.
Yeah.
But yes, she was not as good, but yeah, she definitely had that same. She wasn't like kicking butt.
No,
but she definitely she was using her mind.
Yes. Next actor on the list is Brandon Sklenar. I think it's Sklenar.
Sure.
And he plays Henry, who is Violet's date. He's a photographer who works for the mayor.
He's truly. We in spoilers. He's truly innocent.
Yeah. So spoiler alert: the reason the mystery killer wants Violet to kill him is because he works for the mayor. He's a photographer. He's taken some pictures and gotten some evidence of money laundering.
Embezzlement.
It's very vague.
We don't get no information.
Mayor's doing something funny with the money.
Exactly.
He has information on it. He's planning on meeting with the FBI the next day to leak the information.
So our antagonist is from the mayor's office.
Yes.
But you don't know that till the last 10 minutes or so of the movie. But he did a good job of trying to withstand this horrible date. Like he wasn't a jerk. He wasn't like just trying to take her home and sleep with her. He acted like he actually cared. I think they had been talking on whatever dating app for like 3 months.
Yeah.
To set it up. So he was like being patient because she had been through what she'd been through, whatever. But there is one point in the movie where she goes off to do something the killer tells her to do, or the drop guy tells her to do, and he gets the check and was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to go.
Yeah, it's like the 8th occurrence of her leaving the table and being gone for indiscriminate.
And I was like, thank you, because this is ridiculous. A normal person would be like, this not working out. I'd hit you up later. And he actually does, but then she does this weird thing where I was like, this would not work. We back to unreality, where she kisses him in a restaurant, and mind you, they've known each other for 60 minutes or so. And I was like, yeah, that's not believable. Whatever. He ends up staying because of that, and that's how, because the drop guy's like, you need to kill him. So if he leaves, she obviously can't kill him. She comes up with a way to keep him there. But when he got that check and was about to leave, I was like, yes, get up.
Yeah, it made
get
more
out
sense.
here.
Yeah.
You don't deserve this.
As far as him as a character, he was fine. He's a plot device more than he is a character. He is just there to,
But the plot kind of centers on him, though. Interestingly enough.
But he's like a device. He doesn't really have like, he has a moment. He has one moment of dialogue where he talks about
working with the mayor
and knowing somebody and then them being bad. And I don't know why that made him emotional. Maybe him and the mayor were like really close. Maybe he wasn't talking about the mayor. Maybe he was talking about a previous relationship. But
he doesn't say mayor, so maybe not.
They didn't elaborate.
No.
But he doesn't really get a lot of acting moments. So.
He gets, the best parts for him were when she would get up, because she has this whole thing where she tries to fake losing her watch and she puts it in her purse. And she does that so that she can say, oh, I left my watch. I need to go find it, so she can get up from the table and communicate with the dude. She actually knocks her purse over and the watch falls out and he catches her lying. So his face when she come back to the table was like, I'm about to go. Because you obviously lying to me. Those were his best moments when he actually wasn't talking. He just had a look on his face like, I am so annoyed. I'm about to leave.
But that's the thing for me. That makes him... That's why I feel like he wasn't really a character. He was more like a plot device because after the watch fell out, he forgave her and then let it go. And then also the bartender drops that she lied about the lemons.
The limes.
And then he didn't even bring that up.
He didn't.
So
I was just kind of like,
you're unrealistically patient.
He was beyond patient.
You lack human suspicion. Like, this is a person you don't know, and they're being this weird on a date.
And the movie doesn't... If the movie was trying to set up that he was behind all this,
No, they didn't do enough job in the movie to do that. They did enough maybe in the trailers to imply maybe it was him.
But as you watching the movie, like, it's not him.
Yeah, it's very clear in the movie it's not him.
It ain't him.
Yeah.
Which you're kind of like, well... Which adds to the mischief, like, well, who is it? But... I thought they were at least going to try to play the angle that, maybe it's him and he's a horrible, terrible guy who needs to burn. No, he's actually a decent human being.
Yeah, so, he was fine. He didn't do anything bad, but he also didn't have, like, an extraordinary acting moment.
No,
extraordinary plot moment. He didn't do anything in the plot extraordinary.
if he talks to be Batman, he gonna have to.
And this was not the example film, but he has other stuff.
He's gonna bump it up.
He's in one of them Yellowstones.
Oh, is he?
So yeah.
Okay,
he's in the one with Helen Mirren.
Okay, yeah. He looks like your average everyday working actor. So sure, why not? He could be Batman.
Yeah. So I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with him. He was fine. I mean, as far as everybody.
Yeah, everybody was fine.
Everybody in this movie was fine. Cool. Everybody in this movie delivered their lines without error.
You're right. There was no badness.
There was no badness.
There was no acting like his rent is due either. Yeah. So, everybody was like, I'm here.
I don't imagine there being a lot of red ink on this script.
Bet you they had no reshoots. No.
Sure.
They probably didn't even have to redo no lines over.
Yeah.
It was like, you did that perfect the first time because that's exactly the middle range we was going for.
Like in most Scream movies, this has an ensemble cast of random people in the background. So characters. We have a couple honorable mentions. Gabrielle Ryan plays Kara, who is a bartender at this restaurant. Violet Bean plays Jen, who is Violet's younger sister, who's at home watching her son Toby. We don't get a lot of scenes with her. She's just like the younger. Maybe 2 minutes. She's a younger, funny sister.
She's got a comedic angle. Yes.
Yeah. She's a younger, funny sister. She does the babysitting. She's the one with all the tattoos.
Yeah.
She's fun.
Typical.
Very She's the supporting
They
sister.
even did the typical younger, goofy sister.
She's like the best friend to the main character in Hard Eyes that we really like. She's not as funny. She's not as funny, but that's her role.
That is her role. Yeah. Not as much of an impact.
Jacob Robinson plays Violet's son Toby. He doesn't get moments.
No, he's just a little kid.
He's just a kid. So
he's a kid.
He's a plot device. But he was fine.
He was fine. I have nothing bad to say about that kid.
No, he was fine. He was present in maybe 3 scenes. In the beginning, he was present.
He is a plot device because that's
just
the
a plot
reason.
device. He was present in the beginning, and he was present at the end.
At the end.
I don't think we get any. We don't really go back to the house during the film.
No, we see the house via her video cameras.
But we really don't go back to the house, so we don't get the son again until she's at home rescuing him.
Yes,
so,
and he. That's in a movie, isn't it? Isn't that in the trailer?
It's in the trailer that we get a scene where she's clearly on the way home.
Yeah.
So she leaves the date.
We in spoilers, y'all. Clearly. If you think the son dies in this movie, please.
You're ridiculous.
Please, get out of here.
He was fine.
He lives, y'all. The son lives.
So those are all the characters. Let's get into the likes and dislikes.
All right, let me pop up my notes here. I thought the sound design was cool. Like, it was...
the sound of the vibrating phone on the table.
There were moments where there was they trying to do the tension moments where she's like gotta do a thing, and the music behind it I was kind of like, oh, okay. For some reason it stood out, maybe because I wasn't doing nothing else and the movie wasn't doing nothing else. I was like, sounds cool. I was expecting her date to actually be trash. Like, I thought he was going to be, a horrible person. Like, he was going to be...
I didn't think he was going to be bad. I thought he was just going to be vanilla, which he was.
He was very vanilla. Yeah. Not even Vanilla Bean.
Yeah. Just very vanilla.
He that Jenny's ice cream you got me that don't taste like nothing but air.
The sweet cream?
Yeah. Jenny, I don't know. We live in Columbus, Ohio, so we where Jenny is from. And I think we get a lot of, the new flavors first. Mm-hmm. That sweet cream ain't hitting y'all.
Nothing.
Sorry. Don't skip it.
It's thoughts and prayers.
It's not even that. Maybe a thought.
It's just thoughts.
No prayers. But anywho, he was good. So I like the fact that he actually turned out to be good. I did like that she used her previous domestic violence experience to get him to talk because she had to stall in order to get him to stay.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the fact that she's opening up and telling, and she's not lying about anything, but then he tells his story and they have a moment, and I was like, she's only doing this to keep him from leaving so she could kill him. Yeah. And she actually does put the poison in his drink to kill him. So that's why she ain't no Mercedes Prescott, because she actually attempts
she doesn't. She fakes it.
Well, she faked it the second time. The first time, she actually poured that man the poison in the shot. Remember? He was about to drink it, and then she changed her mind and she stood up and spilled the wine. Remember?
So,
remember? Okay. Yeah. She was going to kill that man.
We'll get back into it later then.
Okay, fine. I did feel like the intro of the movie was too long.
Okay.
Thank you for letting us know who all the people who made this movie. I don't remember any of them, so that intro could have been 30 seconds shorter.
Yeah, the intro slide, the opening credit slide.
Yeah.
Where you're just seeing everything falling off the table.
I was like, how is this?
One by one.
Right. And nothing really broke in the movie, to be honest. Not at the restaurant.
No.
Except a wine glass? Maybe.
Yeah. Actually, the window at the end.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
sure.
It was a scuffle.
I had my note says I'm not sure if the flashback was necessary, but sure.
The only thing the flashback set up is the face off at the end.
Yeah,
connecting through the rest of it.
We go to the flashback at least 2 or 3 other times in the movie, and I'm just like, we opened the movie with the flashback.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is the prominence? And it's actually not super important in my opinion. Main villain wasn't very villainy. When we get to him, he kind of, I give him like a B- on being like scary and spooky. I was like, I'm not afraid of this guy at all. And the goofy waiter was almost funny. Almost. He had like 2 lines of being funny, but he was mostly annoying. Yeah, so the waiter could have been the waiter could have been just a regular waiter. He did not have to be the comedic relief because I was not laughing. I was like, you are annoying. And this first date is awkward and you are not helping the situation. So those are my likes and dislikes.
The likes, I liked the acting. The acting was fine.
Okay.
I liked the setting. The restaurant was nice.
Oh, the restaurant and her house. Both of those were nice. I like her house.
Yeah, her house was nice too. Mm-hmm. That was my first note, is that she had a nice house. Mm-hmm, we didn't get to see too much of it.
No, the kitchen.
It wasn't as nice as the house in Black Bag. It was bigger than the house in Black Bag, it seemed, but it wasn't.
Maybe
as nice. The rooms were bigger.
Child, that Black Bag house was nice.
Really nice. I thought the sister was fine. She was funny.
Okay.
I mean, she wasn't like amazing, but I mean, she was fine. She was like, when she was cracking on her, she had a funny line in the beginning, and then when she was cracking on her outfits in the beginning,
she was funnier than a waiter.
I thought the pep talk she gave her about not thinking every guy was going to be like her ex-husband was good.
That was nice. Mm-hmm.
I liked some of the supporting cast. I liked the bartender.
She was my favorite supporting cast.
She was fun. The piano player was fine.
That's cool.
I liked that there were other people in the restaurant
that we got to talk to.
People. There was a guy by the door.
Yeah.
They peppered in a lot of people who play like small parts. There was another guy who was at the restaurant who was on a blind date, just like she was.
Yeah.
A blind first date.
Him.
He was an older guy. So there was a lot of other people in the restaurant that they did a lot to make you suspicious. Yeah,
I wish they would have taken it a little further. I wish they would have gave
didn't interact with a lot of them as much.
Right. Once we met them once, and I feel like we moved on.
They didn't do a lot. The person who had the most to do, I think, was the piano player.
Yeah,
then he died.
Right.
So
right.
So
which was weird.
He died, and then the bartender for some reason wanted to take on an armed gunman for her, which
at the end
she didn't need to do that, but
because she almost died.
I'm glad she did.
Hot. I would have been.
I was like, she didn't deserve to die.
She's the only black actress that talks in this movie, and I was like, now if you kill,
and the tips in this place must be crazy for you to be taking on an armed assailant with a server tray,
right? Like she should have been running like
everybody else was running, but she wants to turn into
Job don't pay that much.
No,
I know it don't. I know it don't, girl.
No, for Violet. No, Violet's been through this before.
Get out of here. Go home.
So I like those elements of it. Mm-hmm. I didn't really have a lot of dislikes because the movie didn't do a lot to
shake the table.
Didn't do enough to venture into the wrong area
to make you mad.
Right. So it was inoffensive.
You're right.
The only nitpick. I guess it was the pacing, but I don't think they could avoid that.
Yeah.
It's a bad date. So
and it's supposed to be awkward and
you have to the pacing kind of we have to be there in the bad date with them,
right? It moves the plot along.
It moves the plot along,
and the guy has to talk to her doing something,
right? But we still have to be present in this bad date with you,
right? And she's trying to kill the man, so she got to like warm him up first.
Yeah, and the pacing is broken up by them having bad date moments. Her constantly checking her phone. Yeah, it didn't make sense that the date would go on this long.
And
she's clearly extremely distracted. No other person, like he's in plot device. The guy was a plot. Henry was a plot device because no human person would sit through that.
I was trying to give him a benefit of the doubt.
Even if you don't think she's being rude, she's too distracted.
She's way too. I mean, her phone is buzzing every 2 minutes, and she's looking at it.
And when he leaves to pay the check. When he tries to leave and pay the check and leaves and she stops him by kissing him, her behavior doesn't change. She still goes right back to checking her phone.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think, did he figure out was the watch before or after that? I think it might have been before that. I can't remember.
It was after.
Okay. See, he could have hit the dough. He should have hit the dough running.
So, those are my nitpicks.
Your nitpicks.
I think it was unavoidable that the pacing was
low. And it was only an hour and a half, right? So we didn't really have to sit through 2 hours of a bad date.
I mean, Red Eye did this too, but
oh really?
Red Eye had other actors.
Oh, Well,
and they're not bad actors in this, but
they're not bad
actors.
They're actors.
None of the actors in this on Red Eye are bad.
Yeah.
But the actors in Red Eye, I mean, Cillian Murphy did a lot more. Cillian Murphy had more to do than Henry and Violet.
It's interesting because they were on the plane.
And Rachel McAdams, too. So.
I'm about to watch this movie now.
It was good.
Okay. I'm going to check it out. All right. So let's get to is the ending next for us? Yes. So let's discuss the ending.
Okay.
So turns out that the older gentleman that she meets at the very beginning when she gets to the restaurant, who says that he's also on a blind date, is behind all of it.
Yeah, so he faked it. He made it seem like when he first met her at the bar that he was way too old to know what technology was because he met his date off of like something older than Facebook.
I didn't even
He had mentioned Friendster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she looked at him like, what? And he's like, oh, I'm so old. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So he was telling her like, this is his first date in forever. I don't know what happened. What, did he mention if he was married or something?
No, he didn't get no backstory.
He's an older guy who's venturing out dating for the first time and kind of similar to her, except for she's much younger.
Right. Different app.
And it's a ruse. He is a hacker.
He actually goes on a date though. His date actually shows up.
Yeah.
And then she leaves.
Yeah. He's a hitman or an operative of some sort that's been hired by the mayor to make sure that Henry dies.
Yes.
And he's orchestrated this whole date thing, and he knows everything about Violet from I guess you can just get that from the news. Google. To set up the fact that he's going to use her to kill Henry,
via poisoning in his drink.
Via poisoning from a drug that she prescribes to her own clients. And if she doesn't do it, she's going to have her and her son and her sister killed.
Right, because he does have somebody. The assassin is actually at her house.
Yes, this is two people. Like Scream, there are two ghost faces. There's one at the restaurant and there's one at the house. It's a double whammy.
Yeah, and when we get how in the movie how we know it's him is because his date ends like a while ago.
She storms off.
She calls him a loser or something. Yeah. So she goes off. When she show up, she don't look like she like that man anyway.
She storms off, and then the bartender also drops a line that says she could see why she stormed off because he's been staring at her the whole time.
Oh, right. So we pan like maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes later of the movie, we pan over to him and he's still sitting there.
20 minutes after she stormed off.
He is sitting there still at the restaurant, and it's kind of like, why is he still here? And
smiling as if like his date didn't just make a scene,
real goofy
because she
looking.
made a scene. She was very loud about her exit,
having tea or latte or espresso or something. Yeah. So and then the music kind of changes, and it's kind of like, oh, it's this guy, because why is he still staring at her? Why is he still here? And then that's when we get the reveal.
I like the reveal. So she was going. So let's get back to the shot thing. So she takes a poison that he hid in the towel dispenser in the women's restroom.
Yes.
She takes a poison and she pours it into his shot.
Shots of tequila.
And she takes it over to the guy when Henry's off doing something. Oh, yes. She spilled wine to
stop him from taking a shot. Yes.
And while he's off cleaning up, she takes both shots to the table and she offers him the poison shot. And he doesn't take it. He's like, no. That kind of kicks off the reveal. They have a back and forth where he's basically laying out. He's doing because she's kind of like, oh, we met earlier. Your date's going bad. Let's kind of take a shot together to kind of, celebrate bad dates or whatever. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And she's like, oh, because it's you. He's doing the third act monologue.
Yes.
So he tells her, take one of the shots to reveal which one isn't the one with the poison in it. Right. So she takes the shot that doesn't have the poison in it.
Of course.
Henry comes out. He sees something and the guy gives his whole monologue, his villain monologue.
Of why he's doing it and everything.
Henry comes out. He knows something is up. She's giving him the look.
Something been up all night.
So,
he's like, why
the guy tells Henry to take the shot. Henry doesn't know there's poison in it, so he just throws the shot back.
Because he's ready to go.
To his table.
Ready to go.
And we think that he's gonna die.
Right, we're waiting for him to croak over.
Now you said that she did poison the shot.
Well, she poisoned the shot the first. Oh. Yeah. But why did she make him spill the drink then? The wine at the table.
She made him spill the drink.
So she can go over to talk to the man?
So that she still had both shots when she went over to talk to him. She never poisoned the shot. Oh. Now, I don't know what her plan was.
You're right, because she didn't have two sets of poison.
Right. I don't know what her plan was.
You're right.
But she spilled the wine to keep him from taking the shot.
Right.
She took both shots over to the table.
Right.
And through sleight of hand, when Reed, what's his name? Richard was the name of the older guy. Mm-hmm. When Richard was watching Henry take the shot, she did sleight of hand and
poured it into his
dessert.
panna cotta.
Yeah, his dessert.
Yeah.
And she says at the table that she faked poisoning the shot.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would have missed that on the cameras, but
yeah, because she acts like from what I remember, it looks like she does poison the shot.
Yeah.
So maybe she did it for the camera because she knew that the guy was watching her.
Yeah, because we see her keep looking up at the camera.
Yeah,
in the corner.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so she did it because the guy is watching her at all angles. Every time she do something, he say something. So she knew she was being watched.
We see her pour, but we don't see the liquid go into the shot glass.
You're right. Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So, she got me. She got me good. So she poisons the Richard's panna cotta. Mm-hmm. He tearing the panna cotta up like it's Thanksgiving.
Because he thinks he's won.
Right.
Right. Because he's giving his monologue.
And she, he starts feeling a little weird. And she's like, gotcha, Chuck.
Right.
Richard, whatever your name is. You're about to die. And then he takes out a gun.
Yeah. Because, he figures at this point he's going to die. He is going to die. By his own drugs. Right. So I might as well shoot up everybody in here.
He starts shooting at her. She, then we get our only...
She does her usual crawl away.
Action sequence of the movie where people trying to run and people trying to fight him because he got a gun. And then Henry gets shot up in the
Henry takes a bullet trying to stop her from getting shot.
Right. And then the waitress that we like takes a knife
to the back
while she trying to stop him from shooting her.
Yeah. A punch and a knife.
Ridiculous.
I don't know why she got beat up
Kara
so bad.
took her behind home.
She should have stayed behind the bar.
Anywho. He shoots a hole in the glass of the restaurant. What's her name? Violet takes a hockey puck that Henry gave her to give her son, throws it at the glass, breaks it up more. He ends up flying out off to his death.
Yeah, because they're so high up.
So our main antagonist is dead because he done fell off and crashed into the hostess booth at the bottom of the hotel. She got to run off and save her kid because before he went off the edge, he called up the assassin and was like, kill him. Yeah. Kill him all. So somehow she's supposed to have enough time to go all the way home. Now, mind you, she had to drive. So
that's because Jen bought her time.
She ain't in a walk. Okay, fine. So, yeah. She ain't in walking distance. Somehow her sister... who we see get stabbed earlier, somehow revives herself.
No, he just knocked her out.
That's
he
stupid.
He hit her in the neck with the gun.
Oh, I guess he didn't maybe need to kill him unless she didn't do what she was told.
So fine. I don't know why he didn't tie her up, but he just knocked her out and left her on the couch.
Okay. So sister wakes up, buys Violet some time because now the assassin is about to go kill the son. Mm-hmm. So we get some scuffling, and blah 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Violet makes it home, and surprise, surprise, she ends up killing the killer.
Right.
And saving her son and her sister. Yeah. Who live.
Yeah. So
that's pretty much it.
The opening scene finally ties into the movie when she's in the same position as her husband had her on the floor, crawling away, kicking her in the ribs until he was going to shoot her in the face. She's in the same exact situation again with the killer at the end.
Yeah. Crawling
away. Until her son this time puts the gun in the scuffle. He dropped his gun. The son drives the gun to her on one of his remote control cars, and she grabs it and shoots him because she did not shoot her husband. That's her biggest regret.
Right. Her husband gave her the gun for a second.
When she was in the same position to kill her husband, she decided not to kill her husband. But in this opportunity, she decided to kill. And it wasn't as powerful. This is a stranger. So it's not like...
No.
She talks about...
I wasn't moved.
She talks earlier in the movie about how she had the opportunity to do it. She did nothing.
I actually didn't know what she was talking about. I was like, to do what?
She had the opportunity to kill her husband, and she chose to do nothing. It's not the same as having the opportunity to kill a rando who broke into your house and is killing your wife, and the option to do nothing. This isn't like a person you have to think about.
No, right. So you didn't have a kid with this man.
The decision to murder this fool is not as powerful.
There's also a reveal. So the assassin in the house has got a ski mask on the whole time, and right before he about to kill her, he takes it off.
Yeah.
And for 2 seconds I was like, oh my God, it's the husband. And I was like, oh no, they just a random white guy with dark hair, just like her husband. Oh, okay.
And I thought the husband was still going to be alive.
That would have been too much
up until
of a
they
twist.
revealed that he killed himself.
Yeah.
I thought the husband was still going to be alive because I found it odd that she had so many cameras.
She has like 12.
Yeah, she has cameras in the house and cameras outside the house, and I feel like that's I mean, there are people.
Sidney Prescott move.
Yeah, there are people who have cameras in their house because you live
right
off in the boonies and you don't have neighbors. So, but she had neighbors.
She was in a regular neighborhood,
and that's the type of preparation you have when you expect somebody to show up.
Yeah. I have one of my notes is that and when she's scrolling through her cameras, it takes so long because she got so many. I was like, girl, hurry up, get to the camera. Yeah. Get to the camera where the man is at. Hurry up. You got too many of these. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, so I thought the husband was going to come back at some point.
No.
He was actually dead.
He was actually dead. So yeah, the movie ends actually on a happy note. Henry lives. Our final scene is of him in the hospital. She bringing him food, and they're like, "Oh, we should have another date, but let's make it super boring." Sister also lives because the sister caught one. I don't know if she caught a bullet or a knife. One of the two.
Neither. She just got punched in the face really bad. Oh no, she got a bullet in the shoulder.
Okay, she got a bullet. I was like, something. She was also in the hospital, but everybody lives and they live happily ever after.
Yeah,
essentially. So that was ending. It was actually there was no twist. There was no turn.
Nope.
Your ham sandwich was finished with your warm water.
Yep.
Finished. So let's get into our favorite line or scene. We have the same one, so I'm gonna let you explain it.
So the favorite line or scene is at the end of the movie.
Very end.
When after Violet goes to visit Henry in the hospital and they are having their milkshakes, she gets a text message or a drop from the Let's Play app again.
Oh my God.
And you think it's the killer or
Still
somebody
alive.
else is going to torment her again. And it turns out to be her sister.
Yeah, playing games.
Her sister is playing a prank on her just like the best friend at the end of Hard Eyes.
Which was hilarious.
And the sister walks in. She's like, too soon. She goes, be yes.
Yeah. Best line, because she says it because she's pissed.
Yeah.
Best line of the movie, all the way at the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, it was funny. And then she was like, she said, oh, it'd be nice to have been shot. She was like, you want to get shot again?
Right.
So.
And she didn't even bring her sister no food. Which
she didn't bring her sister any food.
Maybe
she brought her date food.
Maybe she knew her sister was on some BS.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was weird though. I was like, your sister also in the hospital?
In the same hospital.
Clearly in the next room over because she just wheeled her IV
bring her no milkshake.
No food. He didn't get no fries.
Got a bullet. She also took a bullet
Saved
for your
son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of like, how you leave your sister?
She's weird.
Yeah. Anyway, I ain't gonna talk. We're out of the character part, so I'm not gonna go back on that. But yeah, I did think that was weird. I think that was weird. Any miscellaneous random notes?
No, I don't have any notes that are miscellaneous or random.
That's
I don't think enough random or miscellaneous things happen.
That's how
in
you
this
know
movie.
this is a very vanilla movie. If Jane got a single note, I have a couple.
Sure.
Thanks for letting the black woman live.
Okay. She could have made it out unscathed.
Listen, when she got stabbed, I was like,
small favors, I guess.
Why? Well, she was literally minding her business, and she was actually trying to help that girl because she thought something was wrong with her date. She's like, if he being weird, I'll get you out of here. She's like, no, I'm the one being awkward. Yeah. So yeah, that and only thing else I had was the kid had to go to bed in 8 o'clock, and when she left on her date, it was 7:26. I was like, girl, you could have put that kid to bed yourself.
Yeah.
What? Why did you need to have him up? They was like making popcorn and having ice cream. I was like, he ain't got time for all of this. He about to go to bed.
Yeah, wear him out so he sleeps through the night.
No, sugar keeps kid up. Apparently, from what I've heard. I don't have kids. I don't know. And then I said, I guess it doesn't matter, but what did the mayor do?
I guess it doesn't matter.
I was like,
something with money.
He had enough power to hire somebody to have somebody else set up to kill somebody. Yeah. And we don't even know what that man did. Yeah. So it must have been super serious. I hope he went to jail. So that's it. That's all my random notes.
All right. So let's get into our rating.
I'm gonna give this. It's not bad. 3. It's a 3.
Give it a 3.
It's not bad, but it's also not great. But I feel like 3 is fair.
I'll give it a 3.5. Okay. I gave Hard Eyes a 5 because it was very entertaining. Yeah. It was more entertaining than this. Hard Eyes was very funny. Okay. It was very gory. So I got the things that I wanted from that.
It's so middle of the road-ish.
This was very middle of the road. It didn't have any of the... It wasn't as funny. No. It wasn't as...
Hard Eyes I was pleasantly surprised by. Like, Hard Eyes was very unserious. Yeah. But it made up for it in the comedy and the goofiness and the chemistry between the two leads. Yeah. This was just like...
Hard Eyes was firing on all cylinders.
It was. And the best friend was freaking hilarious. And she it had the same elements.
Her job was funny.
Yeah,
her coworkers, her boss was funny.
Yeah.
This movie only had 2 actors.
main actors. Yeah.
2 actors. That
2.5 if you count the villain.
in one setting. And some movies have 2 actors in one. The Lighthouse.
Okay.
Had Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe, but different actors. So
different movie.
It can be done, but this didn't do anything extraordinary. No. It was very middle of the road. It wasn't bad though. No, it was entertaining.
We were full, but
it was an entertaining popcorn flick.
I'll give you that. Would you watch it again?
I probably would not.
Okay.
There are other movies that do this exact same thing, but just slightly better.
I feel like we've mentioned it.
Yeah, we have. And there wasn't anything worth coming back for this for. Okay. But I don't regret watching it.
Me neither. Yeah. I wasn't upset. I wasn't like, oh, that was a waste of my time.
No, yeah.
So, I'm going to stick to my 3. You had some very convincing points for the extra half, but I'm going to stand down on 3.
Yeah.
I'm staying down on 3.
Okay, so that is our review for Drop. Go see it. We think it's worth seeing. I think it's worth watching.
If you were interested, you should just give it a go.
Yeah.
If you were already going to go see it, I think you should go see it.
Yeah.
And you better hurry up.
Interested in seeing Minecraft or a Jesus movie. The Jesus movie of the
Jesus
week.
animated movie.
Yeah.
And you probably want to hurry up because if this don't pick up in the box office, they are going to snatch the one screen away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you be on it.
What are we watching next week?
It is finally time for one of the most anticipated movies of 2025, Sinners. It is currently at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes with like 45 critic reviews. So I think we got a winner.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited about.
All his movies are good. So
all his movies are good. I'm hoping that there's still some surprises left because I feel like the trailers revealed a lot. But I'm excited to see it.
I'm excited to see what the other non-vampire stuff. Everybody keeps saying, "Oh, it's not just vampires, it's other stuff." So I'm excited to see what that other stuff is. Okay, they haven't showed it in the trailers, but
cool.
Yeah.
I like all of the cast. I will admit I'm not the hugest Michael B. fan, Jordan, but maybe this will be like his defining movie.
There's enough other people in it.
Exactly. That's why. Delroy
Lindo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I hope Delroy makes.
I don't think anybody's making it but one Michael B. Jordan.
Please, Ryan, let Delroy live. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's being people calling it the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
So I'm down for that.
All right, so that is our episode. Thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on our website at vaguelynerdypodcast.com, where you can also leave us an audio message, which we'll play on the show. And if it's nice, we'll play it on the show. If it's not nice, you'll hear a response from Cheryl about it.
Yep.
You can follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, on Blue Sky and Twitter at Vaguely Nerdy Pod. You can reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast at gmail.com for email. And if you're listening to our podcast on a podcast app and you want an animated treat, you can watch our animated format on YouTube at the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast channel.
Yep. And if you want to give us a monetary donation, we are also on Ko-fi.
Yep.
You can buy us a coffee. We'll buy Jay coffee because I don't drink coffee, but I drink juice. So we'll use it for that.
All right. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.